The China Friendship Hospital of Naguru is not too different from the hospitals that we've so far interfaced with. Though this one is at a referral level, isn't it? It's a referral hospital with the mandate of providing free specialized health care services, including pediatrics, obstetrics, gynecology, and surgery. Its primary mandate is to reduce overcrowding at Mulago National Referral Hospital and serve the local community and facilitating training for health workers. You also act as a facility focusing on high demand areas like obstetrics, gynecology, pediatrics, and emergency surgery. So arising out of your mandate, accounting officer, you're going to update us on your intended population, the population that you intend to serve, your bed capacity, your staffing levels, infrastructure challenges. The last time you appeared here, you had a very congested hospital. And by then, you had a mortuary that could accommodate one dead body. Was it you who had a mortuary that could only accommodate one dead body? So you need to update us of the current status of your mortuary. And also update us on your electricity and water bills. Within 5 minutes, honorable colleagues, if there is anything to add on, please do, then she responds. Accounting officer.
Thank you very much, Chair. Dr. Irene Naiga is my name, and the accounting officer for China-Uganda Friendship Hospital, Naguru. Our mission is to provide highly specialized healthcare, training, research, and support supervision to other health facilities within the region that we serve. Our main region is Kampala, though we take on also Kampala metropolitan area with a population of 4 million. China-Uganda Friendship Hospital for the year under review had a budget of 12 billion, wage taking 10 billion.
Hey.
Yes. Pension and gratuity took 800 million with a recurrent of 1 billion.
So you are here for 1 billion?
We are here for exactly that. As you've said, we offer inpatient, outpatient, diagnostic, specialized curative care, prevention and rehabilitative services, and we have a hospital that admits with a bed capacity of 100. That would explain the congestion, Chair, that you talked about. For the year under review, China-Uganda has had a number of achievements under digital transformation. Currently, we are 95% digitalized in the way we deliver our services. We utilize a system called IAFIA that helps us manage patient flow within the hospital. And in the lab, we also utilize a system called ALICE, which is a South Africa-based laboratory information system that has been adopted by CPHL to help in diagnostics within our facility. Some of the key highlights for China-Uganda for the year under review. We performed 171,000 laboratory tests, surpassing our target of 80,000. We utilized the system of ALICE to help us do test requests, results processing, and reporting. And in tandem, it helps us improve our quality. For our inpatient services, we had a target of 15,000 for the year under review, and we attended to 20,000 patients that walked through our facility. In that regard, our bed occupancy rate for the year under review was 127%. We were able to perform 21,000 surgeries, of which our biggest percentage was cesarean sections. And this exceeded our target of 2,000.
How many?
21,000.
What was the target?
2,000. Chair, our outpatient and emergency services for the period under review, we had a target of 80,000, we were able to attend to 174,000 clients walking through China-Uganda. In terms of our rehabilitative and preventive services, we had 6,000 people undergo physiotherapy within our facility, 4,000 undergo occupational therapy. China-Uganda is a bit unique, the way the name is. We have visiting teams from China, and we are able to offer another service called acupuncture. It's a rehabilitative service, and we are able to attend to 950 clients in that area. In terms of capacity building and human resource, Chair, I would like to inform you that at China-Uganda, we have 290 staffs who are attending to that huge volume of clientele that I've alluded to.
What's the structure of how many?
The structure is 1,195 as per the new structure. For the period under review, Chair, interestingly, we're still utilizing the old structure, which catered for 345. A number of our staffs underwent training in the period under review, and these mainly underwent training through digitalization in terms of laboratory systems, clinic flow of patients, and the EMR platform. The EMR platform looks at HIV care and treatment within the facility. Chair, amidst all those key achievements that we got for the year under review, our biggest challenges are budgetary, as I had informed you earlier, that we utilize a recurrent of 1 billion. The other biggest challenge that we have in China-Uganda is that 80% of the equipment that we have is due for disposal, has been there for the last 14 years from the time of inception, and that was not being replaced. The other challenge that we have is a high utility expense. We are glad that in the year under review, we received a new oxygen plant, and this plant utilizes electricity to the tune of 2.56 kV. On average, if it runs every day, you would burn 1 million within the hospital. And yet, this is not in tandem with the budget that we have. And in that regard, we end up accumulating areas for both electricity and water.
Do you have a figure of the areas for electricity?
Yes, Chair. For the period under review, our electricity areas amounted to 124 million, and our water areas to the tune of 180 million. Chair, based on the clientele that we serve and the load that I've given you, China-Uganda has an NMS budget of only 2 billion. If we are able to serve that population that we cater to, we would need medicines worth 4 billion. All in all, amidst the challenges, I'm glad to note that yes, we did have a significant number of achievements despite our very limited budget and limited human resource and the issue of space. Thank you very much, Chair.
Doctor, I want to thank you and Accounting Officer for this submission. But, you know, Naguru, the China Friendship Hospital, had similar challenges. You've not updated us about the mortuary. Is it now improved? Did you build new structures? What happened?
Honorable Chair, we still have a very small mortuary because with the budget that we have, we are not able to expand the current space.
How many bodies does it carry at a time?
On average, 4 bodies.
So what happened in a day? How many bodies do you normally get? Because in other words, is it enough for you?
The mortuary space is not adequate for us, and as a result, we are always liaising with KCCA to be able to dispose of bodies for those patients where we don't have people who claim. As a facility, because we are in Kampala metropolitan area, we get a number of bodies that are brought in by police and a number of people who have been picked off the street by police. And we have policies in which when we have these people come through, we normally keep them for a period of about 2 weeks. If we fail to get...
where do you keep them?
In that limited space. So when we fail to get the relatives to claim these bodies, we take them to the KCCA mortuary.
Doctor, you have a capacity of 4 bodies, mortuary capacity of 4 bodies. So where do you keep the others just in case you get excesses? We want to see how you can be helped, because we know you can improvise, but we need to know how do you improvise and where do you keep them?
Unfortunately, Chair, there's a limit to improvisation, so we end up having congestion within our mortuary. Thank you very much.
So you infringe on the rights of the dead. You know, when when the accounting officer Naguru came here the other time and we asked about the mortuary, he said if the patient sleep on the floor, so you are looking at the rights of the dead when the rights of the living are not observed. So that's why. But still, as we claim for rights of each party, the dead also have their rights. At least for the one who is still alive, you can claim for yourself, but the dead can't speak. So that means we must speak for them. Honorable colleagues, we take note of Naguru, challenges of the Naguru China Hospital. But one asks, because really with the budget, and remember the last year you appeared, we brought out these issues of inadequate budgeting for Naguru. The old equipment, this risks people's lives. 80% of the equipment due for disposal, but still being used by the hospital. And by then, the accounting officer complained about the high bills for maintenance. And some of these machines no longer have spare parts. So really, honorable colleagues, we need to look through the fate of Naguru. If you happen to get time, we shall pass by for the country to know the true picture. You know, when people see us on just with these write-ups, it doesn't bring out the real picture of what Naguru is. But if there is a hospital that has been underfunded, Naguru has suffered. The doctor came here and told us, you know, you keep there because you have to. But with a recurrent budget of 1 billion, what do you do? This understaffing of from 1,195 to 290, that is compared to the percentage, Honorable Mudimi. 290 versus 1195. 1195. They only have 290 versus 1195. Which percentage is that? 1195. %. 24% staff serving a population of 4 million within Kampala metropolitan. A bed capacity of 100. For me, the last time I came in Naguru, I had a patient there, but I felt sorry for you people. People were sleeping on the floor, closely on top of each other. You know, Abajanjabi failed to get where to stand. Really, the congestion for Naguru is simply too much. We feel sorry for you, but as leaders, we need to push and see that Naguru is helped. Otherwise, with these high electricity bills, I don't know what happened to the new oxygen plants. Is it technology? Because every hospital complains about the bills arising out of the installation of the oxygen plant. We need it, but government needs to be considerate that once you install that plant, kindly allocate the entity the appropriate budget, to enable them put to use the oxygen plant.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Mudimi.
I could say everywhere lamenting, but when you read the title of the hospital, China-Uganda friendship.
So what is the friend doing?
Those friends? They are no longer friends.
So since 2012, what happened to the friends? When they gave the hospital, did they just, they donated and went away? Because China has just given us 140 vehicles for the NAM and the G77. Don't they know that they have a friendship hospital And it is an embarrassment to them because it remains a China friendship hospital. So which kind of friendship is that?
Madam Chair, even the accounting officer said that they normally get specialized teams from China visiting. Now, you mean they have not seen what you are going through? Which type of friend?
What the friend is going through? Honorable Saungu.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry I came late. Saungu Joseph is my name. But can I know from... you have the records. How long is that name supposed to remain on your hospital? China-Uganda friend. Because sometimes they do it for the purpose of establishing the institution. After you get your old name, you go back to original. But the moment you continue with China-Uganda friend, and you have just 1 billion. Me, I don't know even you have come here. Because you are spending 11 billion on salaries. 10 billion. So we are here at audit 1 billion. So can you make us know, is it a permanent name or there's time to remove it and you go back to your original name? Otherwise, we have to write to China and tell them, if you are not giving us any more help, can we kindly remove the friendship you are giving us? You can make us learn about that.
Honorable, did I say Honorable Wanda's hand up? So, accounting officer, the reason as to why colleagues ask such questions is to know whether the friendship is still there. Because you tell us the Chinese continue to come to you. How do the friends evaluate the services that you give versus the space, the equipment? What is the comment of the friends?
Thank you very much, Chair. When government went into this partnership with China, one of the requirements was that the facility would adopt the name China-Uganda Friendship. There was no time period indicated in that agreement. And like I had earlier stated, yes, we have a team. Even right now, we have the 25th Medical Chinese team in-house. The team comprises surgeons, urologists, acupuncture specialists, physicians, and ENT surgeons. Indeed, they have also seen the environment within which we work, and a number of reports have been written indicating the state of the Friendship Hospital that they have. So we are still awaiting response from them.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable Saul.
I'm sorry, Madam Accounting Officer, I came late. Among you is you who knows Chinese, writing and speaking. Is there anybody among you?
So language barrier might be one of the reasons as to why the friendship...
Madam Chair is going to answer. Is there anyone?
None on my team.
You see, such a friendship, you must, as an accounting officer, look around to get some stuff on your management. I've seen at least the salaries are okay. Someone who speaks Chinese, because with the friendship, you remember our school time for us, we used to have penny pause. You must continue writing, giving suggestions, but in Chinese. But now here you are, you don't know Chinese, but you only have friendship and the Chinese. You could continue enticing them, reminding them of your project, how they helped you. But the one who speaks Chinese, this is the way to go, by the way. Is very relevant in writing your proposals and looking at your hospital and how it is running. I don't know that my suggestion could yield something for you, but for me, the way the money you have and what I know about that hospital, you are in a terrible situation. And for us, we look at money given to you. We are not a sectoral committee. 1 billion to run that hospital. I don't know, Madam Chair.
Respond to...
You are like a UPE school.
Honorable Chair, your suggestion is very pertinent, and we will look at it and see how we can get someone on the team who can speak Chinese.
Honorable colleagues, now that you've heard the lamentations of our colleagues from Naguru, let's go to matters of audit. And I believe we are so we are going to go straight to performance of GOE warrants. That is 3.5. That is page 12 of the main report. It must be somewhere either page 13 of their responses. Look through, but mine on the main report it is 13. 14 on the main report. 13 too. It is 13. We take note that you received that budget of, but then the variance of 800, much as the budget is small, but this variance of 838 million, a smaller budget, and you don't release it 100%. For others, they were releasing. What did your hospital do to the PSST? Do you have, honorable colleagues, the budget is already small, very limited and inadequate, but still a shortfall of 838 million. Honorable Sawungu.
We need to know, you have a variance. What happened with you? Did you show cause for non-clearance of your variance? Did you demand for your money?
Honorable Chair, for the variance of 800, this sum was actually released to the facility. But like I had stated earlier, China-Uganda, for the year under review, was utilizing the staff structure of 345, while all other facilities had been uploaded to the structure of 1,195. Now, in that particular structure, if you look at it, it became very difficult to bring in critical staffs. And the critical staffs that we are looking at are nurses and doctors.
So this 800 was meant for staff?
Yes, it was mainly made for staff wage.
Did you got it after the audit? You got it after, or you got it before the auditors came? Because you said it was released.
Yes.
When was it released?
It was released within the financial year.
But then why is it called a variance?
I don't know why it was taken up as a variance.
Finance, is it true that it was released then recorded as a variance here? Did you get it as a supplementary? What happened?
Madam Chair, this is money that is part of the wages that we received during the financial year. This money has been coming to us, but was meant to be used to pay the staff that were supposed to be recruited then. And we've been receiving it, but we cannot use it for any other thing because it would be a mischarge as we await the recruitment process to be done. So I strongly believe this money will not be there this coming financial year because we've brought staff on board. But this is money that was coming all through.
No, we are not. Yes, Honorable Song.
For us, we are on your side. Actually, we are supporting you getting the money. But it is appearing as a variance, meaning you never got it. So why are the auditors bringing in this?
Chair,
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, Honorable Isaac.
That the money they got now is to talk of a variance and bring in the issue of recruitment. Am I right? Are they mixing the two issues? So what's the variance that you are referring to?
They didn't utilize this. It was warranted but not utilized.
yes.
So it is on your account.
Madam Chair, through you, when this money comes and it's not utilized, we cannot use it for any other thing, otherwise that would be a mischarge. So at the end of the financial year, it is taken back to the basket fund.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable.
For us, you are your good friends now because you don't have money. I am not an auditor, but with the time I've spent in the Parliament, I've learned many things. With the good mathematics I had in senior 4, which was not very good, by the way. But once they say a variance, we are looking at your budget. Then they release on what they had passed through your sectoral committee. But then some money was not paid. And the money that you are never paid, we think, is this 838 million. Because if it came to your account, maybe the auditors will guide us. Now Madam Accountant will say she didn't come. So it remains a variance then. So the answer from you is either you never got it, and that's why I was insisting that if you never got it, it was provided before. What did you do as the accounting officer to demand for your money for finance? Because these are the questions they are raising. That money was passed, but these people with all the money they are missing. This is almost 1 billion, which would have raised to 2.
Honorable Mudimi.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at table 3, they have a revised budget of 13 billion, 13.1, but amount warranted was 12.
12.
That means in the first place, they did not ask for it to be warranted. Is that right? Yeah. So the budget was revised, but when they issued the warrants were less. Yeah.
So, Honorable Mero.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, if this money is meant for payment of salaries, have they recruited?
For the year under review, Honorable, we could not recruit because the structure that we had was a 3-4-5. And that structure showed that the critical staffs in nursing were fully covered. We were the only hospital that had not been uploaded onto the new structure of public service that takes up 1,195 staffs. There were delays in public service because public service is the one that uploaded us on the system in this financial year.
You see, Madam Chair, still that becomes a query. That is not yet here. I'm not yet saying it. So we were not put on the system. They were delays. Were you in communication? Because the moment you don't have it, still the query goes on you as an entity.
Honorable Chair, when I came into office, we contacted public service, and that is the reason why in this financial year, as of 1st July, we were uploaded on the new structure.
Honorable colleagues, we take note of that. So the fact that we are uploaded on the new structure, do you have arrangements of recruiting any staff? Or have you recruited for this financial year?
Yes, Chair, we have arrangements. We have already submitted our request to Health Service Commission, and there are a number of staffs that have already come on board.
When did you submit?
We submitted our request in September.
So what is the update as of now? Has the process started? How far have they gone?
The process has actually started because as per this year, we have received so far 4 staffs.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable.
I'm sorry to... I think we need some evidence showing us that submission. Because really, what's worrying us that here the institutions which are crying of understaffing, but when they are given a chance to recruit, they drag. And they say it's in the process, it is on, and then, I don't know, is there evidence attached that you make a submission?
Honorable Chair, we have letters that we submitted to both Public Service and Health Service Commission for this recruitment to utilize this.
Are they part of this response?
Are this part of this?
It's not part of the responses. Please prepare to submit them. Honorable colleagues, let them submit evidence of...
You see, me with the issue of variance, where I have no substantial answers from the accounting officer, sometimes I put the blame on them as a team. Do you know why? Because me, I am interested in knowing you are entitled to this money. It has not come to you who is responsible for failing to give you. And you as the accounting officer, what have you done to demand for your...
Honorable...
Quest for it. They didn't.
Because their salaries, they were on the old salary structure. So now they have been uploaded to the new structure, and that's why they have embarked on the recruitment.
Then there are people missing jobs still.
So now they have started. That's why we are asking for evidence that they have started. So, honorable colleagues, we go to the utilization. No, NTR. You planned to collect 229 million. You only collected 194. That is 84% performance. A variance of 35.4 million. What are your sources of NTR and what caused the variance?
Honorable Chair, China-Uganda generates its NTR through diagnostics, that is lab services and radiology services. For the year under review, China-Uganda had no CT scan. So we could not generate any money from CT scan services.
Why did you plan to generate money from the CT scan yet you knew you didn't have it?
When I came into office, the plan had actually been...
Then you had just an amend.
Which, yes, Chair, which we did in this current financial year.
In that very financial year. Because projections of your NTR are dependent on where you intend to get the money. Here you are planning to get some money from your CT scan, probably which was non-operational by that time. Could be you will say we had planned to repair it. Under circumstances where you fail to repair, what do you do? Because you are looking at half year, normally you do an half year performance, and at times you amend your reports depending on how your activities are flowing. So for some of these, let's not give an impression that a plan is cast in stone. Yes, Honorable Singh.
When you read ahead, because I don't know whether we shall look at that area, why your NTR is down? Is it because there is no maintenance? What generates money for you? I am reading it here on 3.6. I read ahead that there's a maintenance of medical equipment. So in talk of lab services and equipments, I think the challenge is there. And I don't know how long you have been in office, Madam Accounting Officer, because I found you here. This could be one of the reasons why your NTR goes down. And the issue of maintenance, we think, and I would believe, if the reverse is different, that I would be spending less money on your laboratory services than the private service providers. And the only advantage is by having your equipment working. But when you have looked at the pictures, you might be full.
No, they indicated that 80% of the machines are down.
And maintain the machines.
80% of the machines are down. But
so
still, aware of that challenge, you went ahead to budget high. I mean, because it is you who sets the targets for NTR. Is it finance or you?
The targets for NTR are set, of course, with finance looking at the projections over the years.
You see? It is the entity.
The entity maintains the machines, but Chair, we had a budget of 24 million to maintain machines.
Madam Chair.
But if I may pick 1 minute before Honorable 24 million, I think you don't have to seek for authority from finance, isn't it? By the PFMA.
It is very little.
That 24 million.
24 million on repair of medical equipment. That is a very minimal budget for the whole year. 24 million.
It's minimal.
Very little money.
And the PFM I read, the law allows you to spend without seeking for authority.
But no, it's not that they were seeking for authority.
Madam Chair,
you don't have the money.
Maybe we have to look at the cost center, because the law talks about environment. You may find on that component there is little money. So if it's more than 10%, they have to get authority. If it's less, then they spend.
Honorable colleagues, I don't think we should spend our time on China.
No, on MTR, Madam Chair. Honorable Seungu, on MTR, actual performance was 193. 1,859,515 on financials, page 14. Yeah, we are disposing that ago. So that was the actual performance, the money you collected, but you transferred only 192,600,000. Why you transferred? I thought whatever you all get, you transfer to the treasury single account.
Yes, the bank charges.
Thank you, Honorable. When you look at the difference that is attributed to bank charges over the time, within the whole financial year, so the money we receive vis-a-vis the money we transfer, there always is the charges that are borne by the entity, and so that causes the difference.
So where is it reflected on the accounts? It's not a big figure, but with what you have in China, it's material. 1,259,000. All that went to bank charges.
Yes, Chair.
So where
Yes,
is
Honorable.
the adjustment? Where did you make the adjustment? Page what?
Honorable, through Chair,
Please.
I refer you to the trial balance. That is on page 51.
Mm.
And 22-10-14.
Mm. Mm-hmm. That's how much?
That is 1.2.
60. The
Yes.
same as what the difference?
Yeah, the other minimum about 3,000 is the balance that remained on the account. The 30,000.
Honorable colleagues, do we proceed? Yes, Honorable Choma.
Wouldn't it be under finance costs in the, first of all, in the statement of financial performance and the cash flow statement? Because I'll try to trace it from there. I'm not seeing any figure.
Response, time is not on our side. Eh? As we proceed, as you look for the answer, let's proceed. When you get it, and just know you will not leave this place before responding.
Yeah, Chair is right. We would have put it in note number 16, but that is nowhere that we can put right.
Because if you did not put it under note 16, at least you must have put it either under other operating expenses or where. So where is it? Because I wanted to, for just one bank account, well, 1 million looks small, but is again big to be a bank charge. So when you replied, Honorable Mudimi, that it went in bank charges, then I got interested. I said, can a bank charge be to this amount? Quickly I traced it under finance cost, but I have not seen it. Okay. But if we would find it in other operating costs, then still it would be a matter of classification, but we would want to see it.
Please look for it as we do proceed. Counting officer, take note. We look at utilization of the GU warrants. That was 1.2 billion. The auditor says you utilized 100%. Thank you. That was done. But we are concerned about the timeliness of submission of performance reports. Why do you delay to submit reports? 52 days, 8 days, 29. For the last, for quarter 4, at least 0 days. We commend you for that. It's a journey well walked from 52 days to 8, 29, then 0. We just pray that you really keep the standard. Otherwise, delays in performance of close to 2.5 months for this first quarter is pure unacceptable. If it was, I normally tell these colleagues, if it was our government, we wouldn't allocate you money. Failure to report in time shows you cannot utilize the funds. So we pend the funds and interdict the accounting officer, then replace immediately. So please kindly improve. Why do you delay to provide reports?
Honorable Chair and members, as you can see the volume of the clientele that we had, at the beginning of the financial year, we were doing more of manual record keeping. But by the end of the financial year, we had digitalized the whole system to 95%.
At least with this improvement, your answer can fly. We can take it. The fact that now you are at 0 days, that is an achievement. Utilization and maintenance of medical equipment and how many ambulances do you have?
We have 3 ambulances.
Fully functional?
Only 1 function. It goes back to the cost of maintenance.
1 is function. Which class? You'd call them classes of ambulance, class A, type?
It's a type B.
It's a type B. Okay. Equipment's not in use. You've already reported that 80% of your equipment are as old as the hospital. Then inadequate maintenance budget, a budget of 24 million annual. Inadequate equipment user training. Why don't you train your staff to use this old equipment? The few you have, train them to use the old ones because it is also, it's to your benefit. They are old, yes. Then train your staff on how to catch up with the old equipment.
Chair, the staffs actually get training. I think the only weakness that we had was it's not structured. It wasn't structured, which we have, which strategy we have employed in this financial year to make it structured throughout the quarters.
Honorable colleagues, with all seen, done and said, do we need the Naguru Regional Referral Hospital? Should it be a regional hospital or a health center 3?
It was upgraded from
because it was upgraded but not given money. So is it upgrade by name? Because an upgrade must be commensurate to the funding. You upgrade the hospital. This is related to the Entebbe case. You upgrade an hospital by name, but the funding is for a district hospital.
Madam Chair,
this is a referral.
That's the observation we are keeping now. Our report.
Because because at the end of the day, Honorable, so do you know the risk you get? Once somebody classifies a hospital as regional, that means we shall come for somehow specialized services. Getting there, you will find the service totally different from what you anticipated, and that is the reality. So something must be done. 12 years. These are the same challenges that they had the previous financial. What was your budget for last financial year, if one may ask?
12 billion.
12 billion, the same. So it is a regional hospital.
But largely on
Madam
wage.
Chair.
Largely on wage. The hospital is in ICU. You are under deployed. We pay salary, but we don't equip you to work. How do you survive? How do you do these things? These teams seem to be very innovative. How do you?
Madam Chair, you know, the The accounting officer also has to come out to this committee and tell us what does she expect as a hospital, that if I'm funded A, B, C, D, I can run. Secondly, we need to look at the purpose, at the formation of that, giving that particular class of hospital, regional. What was the written originally? Because when you go to Chirudu, they give you purposes why Chirudu was created, to reduce pressure on Mulago, to cater on particular. What?
All of them, the nomenclature is the same. It all applies to these ones. Their mandate is to provide specialized health services, including the pediatrics, obstetrics, the gynecology, but the main purpose is to serve that local community, so that we decongest Mulago National Referral Hospital. That is the purpose.
And there is an instrument which establishes them to that level.
Yeah,
we need to have it attached.
There. The instrument is there, Honorable.
Yeah, because that's where we have to attack the system from government.
You already have the tools. It is a regional referral hospital, but in practice, it is a health center 3 in Matete, Sembabule district.
Kalungu.
So, Kalungu, for you, a bit okay. Eh? And the
Madam
missionary
Chair,
went.
maybe I want to ask the accounting officer, this is not part of audit, but part of your operation. There was need to expand, and you wanted additional space, land. And there was a person who wanted to, how far have you gone with the process? Because I saw in the reports from the sector committee.
Yes, there's a need to expand because we run a very small facility. We have had engagements in the office of the Prime Minister where she made her opinion known as to the need to acquire land for the facility, and those processes are ongoing.
Number of years.
How will you expand with the 12 billion? Huh?
And a population of 4 million.
Of 4 million. I would wish you give us, after here to the chair, what you think would be funded to your hospital.
What would be the ideal if
What
somebody
would be the
gave you an
ideal?
open check? What is the ideal?
As per our strategic plan, we need 423 billion within the next 5 years, which would equate to about 40 billion a year.
40 billion a year.
That is for operation only.
Including the aspect of expansion.
No, me, I am requesting, Madam Chair, you are looking at the expansion, first put it aside. Look at the cause of the people, the patients. Because you are going to look, because the other one will come by performance. But you say if we are given 50 billion, we can manage our patients on each and everything. By the way, here I've been reading, and I don't know, Chair might be going to discharge you. The issue of procurement is very weak on your side. Improve it, because I'm not going to go through it. There are so many questions about it. But this committee would be interested, Madam Chair, before you look at expansion, capital development, me, I'm looking at patients. These clinics don't have very big buildings, but they are working on patients. So you tell us that particular. But you see, Honorable Mudimi, referral what? The issue is working on patients. I don't know if I'm correct on that. You will expand as much as you want. But for me, before my chair, when I hear that you are only using 1 billion to
now, honorable colleagues, when we get to the funding of their strategic plan under 3.1, that is the 5-year plan. You had a plan of 219 billion, and it was, the actual funding was 62, a funding gap of 71%. That is national development. This was the strategic plan for NDP 3. Honorable Sound, in their plan for NDP 3 for the 5 years, they had planned to spend 214 billion. Out of the 214, they were only given 62 billion, which is 29%. You see? So, anyway, honorable members, considering all that we've looked at with the Naguru Regional Referral Hospital, For me, I believe this hospital needs special attention. Number one, there is high compromise in regard to the quality of service that you give to the people of Naguru. You cannot convince us that with this old equipment, somebody can get access to quality service when we come to Naguru. Quality, timely, I doubt whether we can commit to that. This is being suicidal. You are improvising beyond your own means. With 80% of your machines old, what can you do? And the doctor the other time said they end up using the old machines because they have no option. Meaning at times that compromises the results that you get. So we must give Naguru a special attention. If government cannot fund in Naguru, close it. If you can't close it because Mugaba Butwakat, you are becoming, you know, I don't know how to say it in English. You can educate me on that. Half-baked. That is being so, you know, you are so lenient on them. There is a bigger way of classifying Naguru. Yes, we appreciate you are there ready to work. But I mean, if we don't give you the tools, we are giving you a rope to hang yourself. But because you defend yourself, now you are hanging the patients. The director the other time almost cried here. The man was, for you, honorable, you are telling me about dead bodies. What about the living? Because people were sleeping in corridors, the man said, for him, he has no option. Where the option, whether you sleep on top of the other, he has, what can he do? You bring dead bodies, you pack them on top of the other body. And you know, the dead also have their rights. And they don't complain. How can the dead complain? The man was like, how do you start complaining about a mortuary? Yet even the word itself is, you know, the congestion is too much. Government has failed to elevate your budget. How I wish we had gotten this submission before we came here, the PSST. Because the Prime Minister should recommend that you are closed. And he said money is not a problem. So if money is not a problem, why don't you fund in Naguru? And you have a very big population. The service is highly needed. But we give false hope to the public. Somebody falls sick critically, comes to Naguru because they know you have the services.